All right, let's take a look at the next problem here. So in this problem here, this time we're coming out of P3. P3 is the collection of all polynomials of degree 3 or less, and they're taking a subset sort of out of here. And they want us to know find the dimension of the span on SA for different values of A. So again, I'm going to write this matrix with respect to our standard basis for P3. So we're going to go 1x, x squared, and x cubed. This is a standard basis for anything coming out of P3. So we're going to write these values with respect to this. So this is going to be 1a, 1, 0. The next entry is going to be 0, 1, a, 1. The next entry is going to be 1, 0, 1, and a. And the third entry is going to be 1, 1, 1, and a. And going ahead here, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I want to make these entries 0. So I'm going to take row 2 minus a times row 1. Take row 3 minus row 1. Row reducing this here, I get 1, 0, 1, 1. I get 0. The next entry here, if I do that, it's going to be row 2 minus a times row 1 is going to be 1. This will be negative a. And this will be 1 minus a. And then subtracting this up here, I get 0, a, 0, 0. And I'm not touching the bottom row. So continuous on here, I want to make these entries 0. So I'm going to take row 3 minus a times row 2, and then row 4 minus row 2. And I'm not touching that first row. I'm not touching the second row. And this becomes 0, 0, a squared. For the next entry, it's going to be row 3 minus a times negative a. And then I'm going to take row 3, so it's going to be 0. And that'll be a squared minus a. I believe that's correct. And then lastly, this will be 0, 0. This will be 2a. And this will be 2a minus 1 for the next entry here. So now from here, if a is 0, this matrix becomes 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0, minus 1. All right, and rearranging this here so you can get a better look at what we have here. I'm going to go ahead and move that 0 row up and multiply by minus sign. And now we're here. So, all right, we're just going to quickly make these entries 0 here. So I'm going to take row 1 minus row 3. And then here I want to make row 2 minus row 3. And doing so here, if I subtract row 1 minus row 3, I get 1, 0, 1, 0. Here I get 0, 1, 0, 0. And here is unchanged. And we are here. So quickly taking a look here, I can see my linearly independent columns are the following 3. So that means that V1, V2, and V4 are linearly independent columns here. And therefore we have a basis. This is assuming that A is 0. A basis is going to consist of V1, V2, and V4. So as identified here, this is V1, V2, V3, and V4. So V1, V2, and V4, putting those together, you have a basis for the span on S, in this case S0. And the dimension on the span of S0 will be 3 here. All right, now continuing on here, let's take a look at what do you do if A is not equal to 0. All right, now if A is not equal to 0, we could push this a bit further. So if A is not equal to 0, I can go ahead and try to make these entries here 0. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll take A squared times row 1 minus row 3. I'll take A times row 2 plus row 3, and that should put 0 entries in these locations. So if I do that, I end up getting, for my first entry here, this will be A squared. The next entry will be 0. The next entry, as intended, will be 0. The next entry will be A squared, and what you're going to get here, you're going to get A squared minus, so again, I'm taking A times this one, and then I'm subtracting A squared minus A from there, and if you subtract those up, you end up just getting A left over. Fourth entry. Now the next one here is going to be A times row 2 plus row 3. This will be A. This, as intended, will be 0. And this next one will be, if you want to compute it off to the side, you can. This is going to be A minus A squared plus A squared minus A. And again, you're going to get 0. And the third entry we're not touching. But while I'm here, I know A is non-zero. So because A is non-zero, I'm going to divide across by 1 over A, 1 over A times row 3. So this will be 0, 0, A minus 1. And then we have this entry here. All right, and now we want to continue this on here. I just want to make this entry 0, so I'm going to go ahead and take row, I take row 4 minus twice row 3. And row reducing that, you get A squared 0, 0, A, 0, A, 0, 0, 0, 0, A minus 1. And this will end up being 0, 0, 0 as intended. And this row 4, this last entry here is going to be row 4, so 2A minus 1, minus, I'm going to take double A minus 1. So this will be 2A minus 1 minus 2A plus 2, in which case you get 1 here. So all that hard work here that we did, you can see here right down the middle, if A is non-zero, this is going to be a linearly independent solution. Again, there's easier ways of doing this. Once you learn the determinant, you could have actually taken the original matrix right here, and I could have just taken the determinant of it and argued that if the determinant's non-zero, when A is non-zero, it's also linearly independent. But at any rate, if you want to go right from the row reduction standpoint, that's exactly what we did here. I assumed right here that A is non-zero, and then just through a little bit of hard work to get that row reduction to work, I ended up getting my matrix looking like this. And you can see solving this would give a unique solution, and therefore the only way that combination, again, we've talked about this before, but if I have C1V1 plus C2V2 plus C3V3 plus C4V4, the only way that's going to be 0 here now, because we have a unique solution, is if C1 equals C2 equals C3 equals C4 is 0. So this is linearly independent, the whole set. So therefore a basis, when A is not equal to 0, a basis is going to consist of all 4 of those vectors, V1, V2, V3, and V4, and therefore the dimension on the span of SA, when A is not equal to 0, that's going to be 4. So you need everything in there to get the job done. All right, let's take a look at another problem. In the next problem here, we have sets coming out of R3, collection of all triplets out of R3 that have this relationship, twice the first minus the second plus 3 times the third is 0. They want us to find a basis for P and extend to a basis for R3. So how to start this off here is we're just going to solve the system. So I have a system, I have an equation, 2x minus y plus 3z is 0. And essentially I have one equation, 3 unknowns. So I have to introduce some parameters. So I'm going to go ahead and let z equal s, where s is any real number. I'm going to let y equal t, where t is any real number. And therefore, right away, I know that 2x is going to be negative 3s plus t, in which case x is going to be negative 3/2 s minus 1/2 t. So I have my x value, I have my y value, and I have my z value. All right, so now continuing this this on here, the solution to this set is going to be, I want to collect up all vectors x, y, z such that they are going to be negative 3/2 s, and then 0 and 1 for my third coordinate, plus my parameter t is going to consist of 1/2, 1, and 0. So we can see here a solution to this set here, this set P. A solution would be all scalar multiples of both of these direction vectors. Well, therefore, that these are independent, and therefore, now you can take any scalar multiple of these. So just to make it a little bit cleaner, I can multiply this across by 2, so it becomes negative 3, 0, 2, plus any multiple of 1, 2, 0. I can do that as well. And this becomes my set here. So therefore, what this means is that the set P is just going to be the span on the first vector and the second vector. So if I span on these two vectors, I will create, right? Because what I've done here is I've shown that anything coming out of P can be written as a combination of these two vectors here, negative 3, 0, 2, and 1, 2, 0. So therefore, if I span on those two vectors, that'll create the whole set P. Therefore, this is a basis. These two vectors are clearly not linearly dependent on each other. That's a basis for the set, and therefore the dimension is also 2. They want me to extend this to a basis for R3, right? So this is my vector v1, this is my vector v2. I want to extend this for a basis for R3, so I just have to find a vector perpendicular to both of these two vectors, right? So typically a vector perpendicular is a vector whose dot product is 0. I can just take the cross product of these two vectors here. So if you take vector v1 cross v2, you will get a vector, let's call this n, that is perpendicular to both of these vectors here. All right, so to take the cross product here, what you're going to do here is take your vector v1, start with that second coordinate. This is one way you can do the cross product. So I'm going to take this second coordinate. I'm going to write it down. This is going to be 0, 2, minus 3, 0. So I just wrote, the second coordinate, the third coordinate, the first coordinate, and back to the second coordinate. I wrote that down, and do the same thing with vector v2. And then the first coordinate, you go down product minus up product. So it'll be 0 minus 4, so this will be negative 4. Then I'm going to take down product minus up product, so it'll be 2 minus 0, which is 2. And lastly, down product minus up product is going to be negative 6. So putting this together, my vector is negative 4, 2, and negative 6. You can reduce this vector, scale it down. I'm going to divide across by negative 2, so I'm going to get 2, negative 1, and 3. So if you take a look here, if you take this vector, 2, negative 1, and 3, and you take its dot product with this vector here, you're going to end up getting 0. And likewise, if I take this vector n and take its dot product with this vector here, you will also get 0. So this vector is, in fact, perpendicular. So putting this together here, a basis, because they wanted us, if you recall, they wanted us to extend this to be a basis for all of R3 here. So my vectors are going to be the vector negative 3, 0, 2, the vector 1, 2, 0. Again, these are literally independent and span the set P, a basis for the set P. Extending this, I just grabbed a third vector perpendicular to these two vectors. So in this case, 2, minus 1, and 3. And once I've done that, I now have a basis for R3, and the dimension of this is 3 here.